The greatest danger to your children may not come from strangers, it may come from the people that are close to you. Story time. So, when my first daughter was around 4 years old, one of her dad's female relatives lost her at a fun fair. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go really quickly and summarize what happened, and in a separate video, I'll go into more detail. Now, this particular female relative was not a distant relation. She actually lived in the same house as my daughter's dad. So she was very close to my child, and her child was around the same age as my kid. So our plan was to go to the fun fair, spend a few hours, and then head over to the city center to the KFC before we take the bus home. So we spent some time at the fun fair. As we're ready to head over to the KFC, I spot one of my friends in the crowd. So I tell the female relative, well, the kids are hungry. You guys go ahead to the KFC. I'm going to say hi to my friend and I'll meet you guys over there. So she decides, okay, fine, we're going to head to the KFC. I go over, I spend a few minutes speaking to my friend, and then I head over to the KFC to meet them. When I get there, I notice that she's there with only her daughter. I say to her, where's my child? She then looks at me and says, oh, I thought she was with you. Like, I am staring at her in amazement. She then proceeds to say that when I was walking away, my child said, oh, I want to go meet mommy. So she says, okay, go meet your mom. And she let my 4-year-old try to find me in a crowd. She didn't verify if my child arrived at my side because I am not expecting my child to be following me through a crowd if I left her with you. So I am not looking behind me. And she left the fun fair. And I had no clue my child was wandering around the fun fair trying to find me. It was only when I arrived at KFC, which is a different location, that I discovered that she didn't even have my child with her. And I had to now rush back to the fun fair on my own to find my child. That female relative showed no remorse. She never apologized. And as a matter of fact, years later, when someone mentioned to her the incident, she says, oh, well, I had my child. She should have been looking after hers. That is exactly what happens sometimes when we think we can trust people. Just because someone's related to you, just because someone's close to you, does not mean they have your interests or your child's best interests at heart. I'll explain in a separate video how I found my daughter at the fun fair. But that was an eye-opening experience, and it was a lesson that I learned, and it stuck with me for many years. Sometimes you may need to start creating exit plans to move your children away from certain people who can pose a danger to them.